what do you take from those two games, and what do you kind of expect a team to do after they've had, a night and day kind of performance like that?
Well, knowing Tubby the way I know Tubby, I'm sure he'll have them ready to play. I think they went 1 for their first 18 or something like that, and it's hard to win, and particularly when you're playing a team that's. I think Oklahoma's at the point where they've kind of got to win games and get back in a race. So you're coming off a major upset on one side and a team that's really hungry on the other side. And Oklahoma made shots. They shot it extremely well. When they shoot it extremely well, like they did against Texas, they can beat anybody.
You were able to break it open in the second half against them down in Lubbock. What did you see from them the first time out that impressed you?
The way they compete. Tubby's teams have always done that. It's the Oklahoma game. That's probably never happened to him in his career. They just keep coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. And I think you leave your guard down a little bit, and all of a sudden you look around and they're right back in the game or they're ahead. So, I mean, it's going to be like all of our league games have been. It's going to be hard.
Coach, do you have any issues with the scheduling and the fact that you'll play Texas Tech twice, you'll play TCU twice before you play Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma State once?
I asked them how they did it, and I think there were, forget what he told me, 7,000 possibilities, 7,000 possible scenarios. I think, Justin, it comes down to what does TV want. I mean, at the end of the day, I think TV probably wants the teams that they think are going to be the better teams playing each other at the end of the year. So
you have all of them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I mean, but I know TV has a huge say. I mean, they pay that kind of money, they're going to have a huge say.
Right.
If the minute supposed to give us some money, I mean, you probably get treated better. It's just that's the way the world works.
Right. So I mean, do you any special preparations then for such a back-loaded anything that goes into it? Just
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't looked at it.
Right.
And I know I look to see, because of recruiting, I look to see we play, Saturday, and then we play again on Tuesday. So that's as far as I've gotten. I don't know what the rest of it is.
Along those lines, Bob, last year I think your last 10 games alternated home and away, which is unusual, maybe a little bit different this time, but your final 3 Saturdays.
I don't know what it. Honestly, I don't know what it is, Mike.
Is there a big deal at all that? I mean, this late in the season, you kind of get into a routine. Does it matter back and forth or back-to-backs or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think Texas Tech, they're going to play back-to-back away games.
Right.
I don't. I think it's TV. I think it's TV driven. I don't know. I don't profess to know what goes on in this league, but I know when I was at Cincinnati, we generally always played what they thought were going to be the other contenders on the road at the end of the year. It was better TV, because generally when we played them at home, we smacked them around pretty good, and then when we went on the road, it was a much better game. It held the viewers. So, I mean, I would assume that still goes on, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it depends on what they need at a particular time, what they think they need, what kind of game they need at a particular time of the year. I mean, everything's TV driven anymore.
Which would you see Texas Tech upset Iowa State? What did they do so well that
make shots? They make shots. I mean, it comes down to you make shots or you don't make shots. That's defensively, you're like working like crazy to try to keep them from making shots or getting shots. On offense, you're trying to make shots. When they make shots, they're good, just like everybody is. You go right down, through the league. When people make shots, they're pretty good. We actually are pretty good when we make shots. It's amazing how that works.
Which game was that?
Oklahoma. Didn't we make some Oklahoma? I think we did.
Juwan said that he thought that the offense would certainly improve if they were a little bit more patient on the offensive end. You agree with that assessment?
Yeah, but I mean, the way we play, we want to get a bunch of possessions. So this whole game's about numbers. You know, you want to be 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. I mean, ideally, you want to be 5-on-0, but that doesn't happen often. But that's what it comes down to. Everything everybody does, that's what ball screens are about. That's whatever you want. Single, doubles, staggers, cross screen, down screens, they create numbers. You try to get the numbers in your favor. And we try to do it by creating from our defense. And still don't score a lot of times. We get a 2-on-0 and throw it out of bounds.
How much tweaking goes on between first and second games? More, less, people think?
We're going to tweak some things, but it's more what we didn't do right, you know. I think probably people try to tweak things more against us than we do against them, just because of style of play. Because you don't see it every day.
I mean, Trent did a good job last week against you guys.
Yeah, how many times they turn it over? I mean, now that we're horrible against Texas, they turned it over 19 times. It wasn't as much our defense. It was we didn't capitalize on anything.
You look at this league, almost it's February, and every team is still above 500. It's pretty unheard of. Bottom team still one game over 500.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, we had the highest winning percentage in the history of college basketball in non-league play. It was 80, like, I don't know what it was. I want to say 83, 84%, somewhere in there. That's never happened in the history of college basketball. So that's why we still have people above 500. And you know, we had some teams that had just, I mean, absolutely terrific non-league records. So.
Tech seems to have a pretty good score, and coach, you're there. I guess anything different you want to try to do this time around?
Guarding this time, he's really hurt us. For some reason, he's played extremely well against us. Williams has been kind of their go-to guy at times. I mean, they've got guys who can score. That hadn't been a problem. But it is sometimes. Yeah. It is for everybody sometimes. Sometimes the ball just won't go in.